your girlfriend because Evie said so. Happy holidays, you guys. I mean, it's December. Woo woo. And it's December. And guess what happens in December, y'all? December the 9th, SVU and organized crime returns. Yep. So let's talk about it. Let's do a recap. So lately, Olivia has been having the worst cases. I mean, she had that really graphic, gruesome case where they had to find that guy that was kidnapping homeless women on the street and then putting them in a warehouse in like mannequins type style. He was taking their organs out. You know, of course, he was killing them, of course, and they had to find him. He was a serial killer right there on the block, and nobody really knew what was up. Well, I'm going to say something. That little boy knew what was up, okay? He knew that something was wrong with that man in the warehouse. However, you know, they worked the case, and it turned out, I won't say okay, because it didn't, but they were able to catch this guy. And the way that Olivia played him in the interrogation room was amazing. She knew that she had to get this guy to confess because really they didn't have that much evidence on him. She had to get him to be so boastful about himself that he would actually tell on himself. And you know what? He did. He told on himself. So then we went into the episode of Nightmare in Drill City, which was awful. I mean, we have these two girls that are being trafficked, sex trafficked, and they got themselves in this situation thinking that they liked this guy and they liked the lifestyle that he was living. But then when they're involved in a murder, several murders, and then someone being shot and actually lived to tell the story, you know, they were being held responsible for the things that they did. However, Olivia being Olivia and Amanda being Amanda stepped right in care of the victim. They figured these guys, these guys were wrong, and they figured that these girls were right. You know, they weren't right in what they did. Jasmine wasn't right in what she did. Tori wasn't right in what she did. But what Olivia seemed to do is sympathize with them. She knows that women get in bad situations, men too, and they get trapped in a life that they never should have had. You know, at first Finn believed that she was guilty, but then he realized that she needed help. Jasmine and Tori really needed a way out. And I thought, you know, this episode was okay because it was a situation that can really happen in life. I mean, when you're young, I won't say that you're dumb or anything, but when you're young, you don't see the whole picture. Okay? Even adults sometimes don't see the whole picture of how it's going to play out. But what was interesting about this case, as well as Tori and Jasmine, was that Carisi is going up on the ladder. He's moving on up, okay? And he is in a situation, well, he was in a situation where he had to choose between his job and these victims. So he did his job. However, it worked out well for the victims in the end. If you haven't seen this episode, you really should go back and watch it. It's called Nightmare in Drill City, season 23, of course, episode 8. Okay? So when we really talk about Olivia, we see that she's been going through so much. And we had that, you know, episode, like I was telling you before, called They'd Already Disappeared. And that was about the homeless women that were actually being killed, murdered, and nobody even knew what was happening. Okay? And that was terrible to me. I just couldn't do it. You know, I couldn't understand what was going on. We saw earlier in the season that Olivia was having some flashbacks to her mom and flashbacks to what had happened previously in her life. And then she got involved with this guy named Burton in the past. And then Burton actually showed up with Amaro. That's right, Nick Amaro reappeared. He reappeared on the series. He needed some help in solving a crime. And of course, they solved the crime with him. You know, however, Burton, this guy that she really thought was everything at the time, she was going to marry him, for goodness sake. She thought that he was everything. So her finding out that he did some things that he really shouldn't have done was, you know, tragic to her. It really hurt her heart. But what hurt her heart more is when she confronted him about this actual sexual situation that he was involved in. He kind of blew it off. And that made Olivia even angrier. More than angry, she was just sad. She was sad that this guy had no perspective of what he had possibly done. You know, and then we have that episode where we had the girl with the social media and TikTok, Willa. She ended up doing a TikTok, and in that TikTok, she ended up getting drunk with these guys who were major influencers. And we know that TikTok is a major influence today. Any kind of social media is great if you use it correctly, but don't lose your mind. Don't lose your mind, and don't you think for 1 second that the things that you put out there won't be out there forever. Think about the content that you want people to see 30 years from now. I mean, do you want to be seen in that light? And what kind of light are you really shining? So we see that SVU has been going through case after case after case that I think are very influential in what is actually going on in today's society. So what's going to happen? Carisi, he's moving on up with these new guys. What's going to happen to him? I mean, is he going to succeed? Is he going to move from just being an ADA, you know, and then he's going to go up the ladder? I think Carisi is a very, very great guy. His compassion shows through all the time. And then we have the relationship between him and Amanda. We have Rolly. Yes, we do. And we've been seeing that evidence throughout the season that they're really connecting and getting together. But what I heard, and I know you heard it too, come closer. Declan is coming back. That's right. Declan, the father of Amanda's children, at least one of them. And he's coming back. So how's he going to take Rolisi? Going to be juicy, y'all. I can't wait for December the 9th to come. I know that Barba is supposed to be coming back as well in an appearance. So it looks like this season 23, the 500 episode one that they had in regards to Olivia, it looks like season 23, they are bringing back a lot of people. I can't wait to see what happens next. Can you? Well, I mean, leave in the comments who you would like to see come back. Because we got Nick, we got Melinda, she reappeared. Now we're going to see Barba, Declan. I mean, who else? Who else should we bring back, y'all? Maybe the psychiatrist? I don't know. I love you guys. I want you guys to go ahead and leave me some comments about this video. What do you want to see happen this season? And how do you feel about the previous episodes that were playing? I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Law and Order on.